Friends, this month I would like to invite you to make your families more alive with tenderness. Tenderness is an expression of warm, compassionate feelings. Tenderness is gentleness or a feeling of warmth and affection for someone or something. It can be conveyed by touch, words, tone of voice, facial expression, or other body language. We often associate tenderness with a mother's care for her child, the gentleness of her touch, the softness of her voice, and the love in her eyes, which communicate a sense of well-being and security, an assurance that the mother is there for the child. We also associate it with romance and Elvis singing, "Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go." However, there are times when we all want to feel tenderness from another. Psychologists writing for the School of Life claim that childhood needs for comfort and security remain with us into our adult years. We may long to be held and reassured with gentle touch, a soft voice, and kind eyes. They insist that these needs are real and should not be considered a sign of weakness. Adults should not be afraid of being scorned for expressing tenderness at appropriate times. In the culture in which I grew up, it was not common for a mother to kiss an adult son. So after 30 years, I still remember the day that my mother kissed me as an adult. It was at the end of my novitiate after I had taken my first vows. As we came out of the chapel, she held me and kissed me on my cheeks for the first time in my adult life. I could feel her tenderness, warmth, affection, and appreciation. Some people, especially men, are afraid that tenderness is a sign of weakness. Pope Francis says the opposite. In his homily for the Solemnity of Mary, Most Holy Mother of God, he claims tenderness is a virtue of the strong. His example is Mother Mary. He says, by her motherhood, Mary shows us that humility and tenderness are not virtues of the weak, but of the strong. Mary was humble enough to listen and ponder things. Luke says, Mary treasured all these things and pondered them in her heart. She listened to the heartbeat of her son with tenderness, unconditional love, self-sacrifice, and hope of a mother. However, she was also strong enough to be involved in the beginnings of the first Christian community. Luke says she met with Jesus' disciples, brothers, and certain other women as they devoted themselves to prayer following the death of her son. In his homily, the Pope warns that the lack of physical contact in our virtual world is cauterizing our hearts and making us lose the capacity for tenderness and wonder, for pity and compassion. The loss of this capacity makes us forget what it means to be children, grandchildren, parents, grandparents, friends, and believers. Many of us still have that Zoom fatigue, right? It makes us forget the importance of playing, of singing, of a smile, of rest, of gratitude. God bless you and your families.